This time we're going to make arroz a la Mexicana or Mexican rice. I like this recipe because the rice absorbs the flavor of all the ingredients and it works really good with any type of meat or stew or like any guisado. Okay, for the Mexican rice we need half kilo of rice, 1/4 of onion, 2 garlics. I'm going to use 2 chiles. You can use jalapeno or any other fresh chili that you prefer. Around half kilo tomato, some parsley, carrot, potato, and some peas. So the process for the Mexican rice is very easy. You put the onion, the garlic. I chop a little bit the tomatoes and I put it inside the blender. You just chop the tomatoes to help the process of the blender. It's important that the quantity of salt that you're going to use is like this point where you probably feel it's really good season. So your rice is going to have all that flavor from the tomato and onion and garlic. So you want a really good puree with the tomatoes. Rice is not a native Mexican ingredient, but was brought over to the Americas by the Spanish, along with other things including cheese, pork, wheat, garlic, rats, and smallpox. So now we're just going to make cubes. This rice in Mexico, we like the people making parties or like for big celebrations when the people gather together and you have to feed a lot of people basically. The chiles, I'm just gonna use them whole. The peas like that. And we need here your pot in medium heat. So I'm just gonna clean the rice to get rid of the starch. Oh, it's very cold. my hands are frozen now. We have our pot, medium heat. I'm using olive oil. I think I prefer to cook with olive oil in general. When your oil is a little bit warm, you add the rice. And what we want here is to take out any water that was left, but as well like to get that roasty color that we need. So in this case, I like my potatoes to cook a little bit with the rice. Probably it's gonna take like 3 to 4 minutes. And basically you need to move constantly so the rice cook even. Like you see, I kind of turn the rice, gently movements, you know? So now I'm just gonna add the carrots. I'm going to add now the chiles. So I want them to start to cook together with the rice and potatoes. And now the rice starts to get a little bit of color. So I'm going to add the tomato. In this moment you can move the rice a little bit. But after this stage, I always prefer don't move the rice too much. In this point, I'm going to add salt. It's important to taste it. Like that. I'm gonna put all the parsley, like that, just like on top. Mix a little bit, so the salt is everywhere. Now we just need to let them start to boil properly. And I'm going to put top. Once the water starts to boil, basically you just have to cook in low temperature or low heat. so the rice cooks slowly. Oops, I forget the peas, so I just gonna add it quickly now. It's the last thing you want to add anyway, so it's fine. Basically what I do is like after 20 minutes I open the top and you need to see the texture of the rice or taste a little bit, and then you need to just like pay attention and taste. Check out our other videos on how to make the tinga, beans and salsa to serve with your rice. Gracias por ver. Hasta pronto.
Hasta pronto.